Welcome to the African Hub for Sustainable Creative Economies, a place to share research, knowledge and ideas. This project is funded by the Arts and Humanities Research Council in the United Kingdom. This video explores research on creative co-working in Nigeria, emerging trends, opportunities and future scenarios. It is a collaborative project between two researchers at King's College London, Dr. Damilola Adegoke, Research Associate at the African Leadership Centre at King's, and Professor Roberta Communion, based at the Department of Culture, Media and Creative Industries. This chapter contributes to our knowledge of co-working spaces in developing countries, with a specific focus on research in the African context in Nigeria. This chapter addresses issues and reflections on the expansion and role of co-working in the development of Nigeria's creative economy and its future development. The chapter suggests that it is essential to consider both the entrepreneurial and developmental agenda within co-working. A co-working space is a shared work setting that allows small business individuals from diverse fields of work and knowledge to carry out their business activities autonomously and/or collectively within a collaborative business environment. The idea of co-working is not entirely new in Nigerian society, and the creation of co-working spaces is increasingly expanding, especially in the major urban areas like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt and Kano. Co-working spaces in Nigeria provide informal learning settings and activities that enhance collaboration, social networking and community development. To investigate the business model of co-working spaces in Nigeria, mixed methods research was conducted. Firstly, desktop research. 2 datasets were compared and analysed. The 2017 report from Venia seems to provide a detailed listing of co-working in Nigeria geographically, and the 2020 database listing of coworkers.com reflects on the growing number of working spaces in Nigeria and on the services offered by the providers. Then, primary data was collected via an online survey. 76 creative co-working hubs in Nigeria were contacted via email to collect information on their location, business structure, primary business model, and the challenges faced by co-working in Nigeria. 15 completed surveys were collected and analysed. The survey result reflects on the business model of co-working spaces in Nigeria, highlighting the growth dynamics of the sector and the challenges it faces. As demonstrated by the data, there is an increasing trend in Nigeria in the development of new co-working spaces, which suggests it is responding to real demand for these services. The survey also identifies challenges that could hamper the sustainability of these co-working spaces, including financial constraints, poor infrastructure, and low level of access to technology. 4 categories of factors were identified to account for the expansion of co-working spaces in contemporary Nigeria. Economic, the private sector sees this as a sector in expansion and worthy of economic investment. Socio-psychological, co-working spaces offer opportunities for social interaction and collaboration. Environmental, improving use of urban space and resources for a range of users. And technological, building on the growth of mobile technologies across Africa and providing more technologically shared infrastructure. Mostly, the need for co-working spaces is driven by business development needs and entrepreneurs, which is not currently supported explicitly by any policy intervention. According to the survey respondents, the government could play a more prominent role in 1. Coordinating the access to specific infrastructure, 2. Networking, such as collaboration and partnerships, 3. Facilitating, including educating and giving access to co-working spaces to the broader public. Overall, urgent policy attention is required so as to avoid undermining the purpose of establishing co-working spaces in Nigeria. The research identifies the needs to ensure 1. More involvement of third sector or development organisations, 2. Developing a wider co-working ecosystem involving a range of stakeholders to develop co-working and its policy, and 3. More policy support to solve the infrastructural challenges. For future research, it seems essential to consider the motivation of the entrepreneur within co-working structures and their ability to contribute to other developmental agendas in Nigeria. Furthermore, it would be important to consider questions of access and opportunities and how they are open or not to the broader Nigerian population. If you would like to read this research in more detail, consider purchasing the book, Developing Creative Economies in Africa, Spaces and Working Practices. You can keep up to date with our work and research via the social media channels of the African Hub for Sustainable Creative Economies.